Ladies and gentlemen, losing Fernando Valenzuela earlier this year, around the same time in the World Series, drew a lot of interest because Fernando's performance in the 81 Game 3 probably will go down as one of the most gutsiest performances ever. It was a 149 pitch complete game victory over the Yankees in Game 2 of the series. Now, Yankees had won the first two games, and what Fernando did in Game 3 was so amazing. People who watched it couldn't believe it. He was in trouble maybe 30 times in the game, literally and figuratively, and he got through. Now, New York had won the first game 5-3 on a big home run by Bob Watson, who was the unheralded star of the series for the Yankees. In Game 2, Tommy John outlasted Bert Hooton as Goose Gossage got his second win of the series. They clinched it with 2 runs in the 8th to win 3-0. But Game 3, October 21st was Game 2. 2 days later, going back to LA, a lot of people thought, hey, if the Yankees are going to win this, they need to score runs early. And they did. They got 4 runs in the first 2 innings. But Fernando pretty well settled down from there. Now, the idea prior to the game, and a big mistake, I think, which cost him the series, Yankee manager Bob Lemon sat Reggie Jackson. Jackson had suffered a minor injury running the bases in Game 2 of the LCS and missed the final 2 games of the World Series, but was medically cleared to play Game 3. Jackson was not even allowed to pinch hit. Lemon said he was arresting Jackson as a precaution because the Dodgers were starting a left-handed pitcher. However, speculation was that George Steinbrenner felt the Yankees would win the next 2 games of the series easily without Jackson, so he ordered Lemon to keep him out of this game. And of course, in '82, Reggie went to California. After the series was over, Steinbrenner would let Jackson walk as a free agent since his initial 5-year contract was up, and Steinbrenner had signed Dave Winfield as essentially Jackson's replacement. He could have moved Reggie to DH, but let's not talk about that. Now, the stars of Game 3 were AL Rookie of the Year Dave Righetti for the Yankees and NL Rookie of the Year and Cy Young Award winner Fernando Valenzuela. Now, he was coming off an outstanding performance against Montreal in the Monday deciding Game 5 in Montreal of the NLCS, where Monday hit a big home run off Steve Rogers to secure the 9th inning. Now, Valenzuela pitched a complete game despite allowing 9 hits, 4 runs, 7 walks, and constantly pitching out of trouble. He walked 2 Yankee batters in the first, but pitched out of it. Righetti allowed a leadoff double to Davey Lopes and a single to Bill Russell. Ron Cey then hit a 3-run homer off Righetti, and Righetti, who didn't have his stuff that night, would only last 2 innings before being relieved. Now, the Yankees had cut it to 3-2 in a second on a Bob Watson homer, and Watson almost hit a home run later on in the game, that ball that reached the warning track. And Larry Milbourne being called upon because of injuries to Willie Randolph and Jackson hit an RBI single. Valenzuela stranded 2 runners in this inning. Rick Cerrone then gave the Yanks a 4-3 lead in the third with a 2-run homer. The former Blue Jay did his best job that day. Now, the Yankees left 2 on once again. Watson led off the 5th with a double, but no one scored as Valenzuela pitched out of it again. In both the 3rd and 5th, the Dodgers were helped by the Yankees being able to use a designated hitter since it was used in last season's series. In both innings, Valenzuela issued 2 unintentional walks to number 8 hitter Larry Milbourne in order to pitch to Dave Righetti and George Frazier. Valenzuela struck out the pitchers both times. Now, the Dodgers eventually gave Valenzuela the lead back in the bottom of the 5th off Frazier when Pedro Guerrero doubled Steve Garvey to tie it, and Cey scored a double play grounder by Mike Scioscia. With a lead in the Dodgers Stadium crowd behind him, Valenzuela appeared to finally have settled down. After pinch hitting, Valenzuela's regular catcher Mike Scioscia took over behind the plate, and this was the key point of the match. This seemed to have a calming effect on the rookie, as Scioscia knew Spanish, and the 20-year-old was better able to speak with him than Steve Yeager, who spoke little Spanish. The Yankees mounted their final threat in the 8th when pick up Aurelio Rodriguez and Milbourne led off with back-to-back singles. Pitch hitter Bobby Mercer in his second turn with the Yankees attempted to sacrifice Bud, but popped it foul. Cey dove and caught it, then doubled Milbourne off first. Valenzuela, despite giving up 9 hits, including 2 homers, walking 7 and throwing 149 pitches and facing a grand total of 40 batters, went the distance to give the Dodgers their first win of the series. Now, New York led 3-0 early and eventually 4-0. But LA came with 2 runs in the third. The chip back with a solo. Excuse me, I'm reading that wrong. My apologies. Sorry about that. Game 3, Dodger Stadium. Again, LA led early on a 3-run homer, but they went ahead 4-2 on Cerrone's 2-run shot, and then LA scored in the fifth to make it 5-4, and there was no scoring from then on. 11 hits for LA, 9 for New York, and 1 error for LA. George Frazier again took the loss, 1 of 3, a record 3 had in the series. Again, Bob Watson and Rick Cerrone hit home runs for the Yankees, and Ron Say hit one for the Dodgers. Now, Game 4, again, it was 8-7 LA, as 2 big runs in the 7th inning were the difference. Willie Randolph and Reggie Jackson hit home runs for the Yankees, with Jay Johnstone, the pinch hitter, hitting a big homer, and Frazier took the loss again. In Game 5, Jerry Royce outlasted Ron Guidry, which is amazing to say. There was only combined 9 hits and 3 runs in the contest, but LA on home runs from Pedro Guerrero and Steve Yeager secured it. And of course, in Game 6, they decided to go with Bert Hooton again, which I don't really understand why, but he was successful in that big Game 6. Now, we have to remember here that Hooton basically was one of the key starters who lost the big shutout in Game 2, but his arm wasn't too bad. I think Fernando would have been a good fit for Game 6. And of course, that game where Tommy John was taken out by the Yankees late. In this contest, LA scored 7 runs in the 5th and 6th innings to secure the victory. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the series went on, after combining for 10 division titles and 8 World Series appearances between 74 and 81, the 81 World Series rank marked the end of an era for both teams, as they soon were out key contributors. The Yankees lost Reggie Jackson, who left in free agency, Craig Nettles, who was traded in 84, Gossage, who left in free agency in 84, only to play once more for them in 89, and Tommy John, who was traded away to California before returning in 86, among others. Bob Lemon lasted 14 games in the next season before being dismissed by Steinbrenner, despite promises to finish the whole season, although Lemon was quoted as being relieved over the decision. The franchise would not reach the postseason again until 95, which included 9 different managers at the helm, such as Billy Martin, who was rehired and refired 3 times from 83 to 88, despite worthy play from Winfield and Don Mangley, who debuted in 82. Incidentally, Steinbrenner's growing irritation with Winfield would so soon lead to a 3-year punishment. The lone World Series appearance in the 80s meant it was the first decade in which the Yankees did not win a title since the 1910s, and the first ever since the live ball era, which would not happen again until the 2010s. So Fernando Mania, it started off as sort of, the consecutive win streak, but you would not have won the series without Fernando in Game 3. So it is available on YouTube, so if you have a cup of coffee, some time to kill on a Sunday afternoon, put it on your big screen and just show your family what Fernando meant. 43 years ago, Fernando reinvigorated baseball, specifically the National League. Because people in Canada would only follow really the National League because of the Expos. But when the Dodgers, through Fernando, really brought it to the next level and became like a cultural moment, it was just tremendous. So again, I really miss him. I don't think there's enough words have been said how he's passing has impacted us all. But Fernando, we love you, man. And as we like to say in French, c'est une vedette vraie, monsieur. You're a real star. Have a good one, and don't forget, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And be kind this week. If you have to chance to put a coin in a Salvation Army can, please do so. Volunteer at a food bank or a clothing bank, or help a young, an older woman put up her tree, or a senior get her shopping done. Call your friends and family and celebrate what's best up with the season. And stopping in here, and you never know what type of presents you're going to find under a tree. Have a good one. Bye.